This conference will now be recorded.
And today we are going to be discussing about DevOps LifeCycle. Before going to start this one, we need to understand about what is meant by DevOps. Why this DevOps came into picture? Older days, we doesn't have any DevOps. Even though we are going to be deploying the applications, we are able to accessing online products, right? Online applications we have used. Why this DevOps came into picture? Anyone having experience here, real-time experience? Not only DevOps, any software, there is no issue.
Yes.
Here I require some information regarding how you are going to be getting the softwares in your laptop or whatever it is. For your project, you require some of the softwares, right? How you are going to be getting?
Usually it's in a software center, or you can download in online. If not, there means in organization means there is a software center is there, so we can download from there.
Okay. You have access to download all the softwares and installation of the softwares. Really,
no,
company
we need to get in local
installation?
admin before we need to get local admin rights for to download. Install this one.
Our global admin, no company won't provide the global admin to everyone. Only
Local
few guys
admin.
they will provide. Okay. If you
Yeah.
want to install any software, we require to raise a ticket. Okay. This particular ticket is going to be handling by admin teams. In our organizations, we have few members are there in admin team, but these guys are going to be handling all the members within the organization. Okay. If you are going to be raising a ticket, how much time is going to be taking to resolve this particular issue? Any ticket you can take, how much time is going to be taking for you? If it is not critical, if it is not high priority, it will take 1 week approximately. Okay, approx 1 week. If it is a medium range, they will take 2 to 3 days. If it is a high priority, they will consider as 24 hours. Within 24 hours, they are going to be completing. It's based on the impact. How many members are going to be impacting? Immediately, they are not going to be installing any software for you. Okay, if it is only for you, if any software wants to install only for you, they will take a lot of time. If it is impact, I'm going to be considering only one person. If it is a 10 to 20 members, and it's based on the business impact also, and also it's based on business impact. Okay, based on that, they are going to be handling the tickets. If it is a huge business impact, then only they can consider as a high priority, and they're going to be completing this particular ticket within 24 hours. There is a huge gap in between. Here, there is a huge gap between the development and operations. Here, DevOps in the sense, development plus operations. There is a huge gap in between these two guys. These are the two teams. One is the development team, second one is operations team. This operations team is going to be handling the tickets, and they're going to be installing the packages, software inside our machines. Okay. To remove, this is the huge gap. There is a huge gap between these two teams. To avoid, okay, here I don't want to keep this much. I don't want to keep this much time to complete a small application. Okay, even I want to install the Java. Some Java guys are there. They require some Java. Okay, if I want to install the Java, it's not required to wait 1 week for the completion of this particular ticket. So to remove this particular gap, To reduce a gap between these two teams, our DevOps guys came into picture, and DevOps guys is going to be working like as a admin role. Okay, here DevOps guys working as a admin team. That too only for our applications, only for our projects. Who are going to be handling this? DevOps guys is going to be handling only few projects. These guys are going to be working as an admin to install the packages in the servers. Okay, this is the one reason DevOps guys came into picture. Okay, what are the roles and responsibilities I'm going to be saying here? DevOps guys works as an admin to install the packages, whatever it is, to give the permissions. Even if you want to get the permissions, we have to raise a ticket, even small GitHub request. Okay, even if you want to get a GitHub request, we need to wait for this much time. It's a waste of resource. Okay, company paying the money in the sense we have to work minimum 8 hours per day, right? If you are going, if they're not, if you doesn't have any access, what you can do? You can't do anything. We have to wait itself. To avoid these particular situations, DevOps guys came into picture, and these guys working like as admin team. Okay, and second one is DevOps guys deploying the applications. Okay, DevOps team deploying applications as well. In older days, developers itself, they're going to be deploying the applications. No one is not going to be deploying any applications. Okay, same development team, this development team is going to be deploying the applications. If some other team, that is the DevOps team, is going to be deploying the application, in the sense development team will get time to write the code again and again. Okay, if the same persons are going to be working deployment activities also, in the sense there is a it's a waste of time for them. So to for that situations, we are going to be using DevOps team to deploy the applications, so that it's a reducing the works for development team as well. And sometimes this DevOps guys is going to be working like as a DevOps team works team team does automation. Okay, here these guys are going to be working on automation side as well to automate our daily activities. DevOps team do automation. These guys are going to be writing some of these scripts, and these guys are going to be automate daily activities. What are the daily activities we are going to be done? The same daily activities are going to be completing by the DevOps team itself. Okay, this is one of the reasons. And these DevOps guys are going to be working as a support team. DevOps team works as support team also. Okay, like we have different roles and responsibilities are there within the company. It's not only one activity. We can work like as admin guy, we can work like as a deployment activities, we can do some automations, we can work like as a support team, and one more thing, there is a development activities also. DevOps guys, DevOps team works as development activities. It's not about the coding, it's about CI/CD pipeline, writing the CI/CD pipeline like that. Okay, I'm going to be giving some example. Writing CI/CD, writing scripts, writing ML files to deploy the applications under Kubernetes or something. Like we are going to be done some activities, and also these guys are going to be done some POCs, proof of concept. Okay, proof of concept. It means a new technology wants to be used in our organizations. Okay, we have to be done whether it's working fine or not. We have to be done whether it's working fine or not. We are doing some testing kind of thing. There is a proof of concept. Okay, here I'm going to be saying that Kubernetes. Blindly we can't able to use this particular Kubernetes inside our production environment. First of all, we need to understand about the Kubernetes, then whether this one, how we can deploy the applications by using the Kubernetes, how you can deploy the applications. I will take a small hello world application and I will test this particular hello world application whether it's working fine or not within the Kubernetes. These type of scenarios we can call like as a proof of concept. Okay. These are the activities are going to be done by DevOps teams. Is this clear? Who are asking about the roles and responsibilities? These are the roles and responsibilities are going to be done by DevOps team. Okay, these are the major activities are going to be done by DevOps team within the organization. Clear, guys? Any
Yes,
questions?
Mahesh.
Next one is DevOps lifecycle. Guys, if you have any questions in between, please let me know. We can discuss on that. But don't be calm if you have any doubt also. Okay. Now we can see there is a DevOps lifecycle is there. How the DevOps guys are going to be deploying the applications. What are the phases we have under this? If you want to deploy the applications, what are the phases we have? It comes under admin, it comes development, deployment, and automation of where you are going to be using each and every concept, each and every roles and responsibilities. We are going to be done in a proper manner. Okay, life cycle in the sense where you are going to be starting your work, where you are going to be ending your work. Not only here, anywhere. You can think a software development life cycle is also same, right? We are going to be starting our work at the planning, and we are going to be completing our work at the maintenance. Here also DevOps life cycle is having some pages. We are going to be starting our work at some place, and we are going to be ending our work at some place. I'm going to be giving some example here. We can see here, we can see it's going to be starting at planning, but planning we are not going to be involving much. Only one or two guys are going to be involving within the organizations. First one is a planning. As we discussed yesterday, there is an architect guys are going to be involving in this. We are not going to be involving on this particular planning activities. Some guys, high level guys, they're going to be working on this planning activities also. Those guys also DevOps guys itself. Okay. Here, in our scenario, we are not going to be working on this much. Who is having much experience, those guys are involving in the planning as well. Okay. Next one is a code. As per our discussion, I'm just keeping a page, and we can discuss about how the deployment is going to be happening. Okay. Now, as per our discussion, development team is going to be writing the code, right? Yeah. Code. Who is going to be writing this particular code? There is a development team. This particular team is going to be writing their code, and where they are going to be keeping. How many developers are there within the organization? For one project, we might get 4 to 5 developers. Am I correct? It's based on the type of project. Okay. On an average, I'm going to be taking 4 to 5 developers. Am I correct? Yeah. One project, I'm going to be taking like as a 4 developers. Each and every guy, they're going to be writing their code within their laptops. If these guys are going to be writing their code and they're going to be keeping within their laptops, how you can share with others? Everyone should know about the code, right? For single project, 4 guys are going to be working. Okay. This entire application, I'm going to be taking, this is my application, and this particular application, they are going to be dividing like as a modules. I'm just dividing like as a module here. Okay. 4 modules I'm going to be keeping. Sometimes some of the developers are going to be working on module 1, module 2, like that. Okay. If we are going to be adding all the modules at one place, then only application will work. First, they are going to be working on module 1. All the 4 developers, they are going to be working on module 1 itself. So if all the 4 developers, it's based on the roles itself. We can't say that all the 4 members are going to be working on the same module. I'm going to be giving some example only. On this particular application, if 4 developers are going to be working, they're going to be writing their code in their laptop itself. So Here what we need to be done? You are a developer, you are going to be keeping your code in your laptop. How can I know? Even I am also a developer. How can I know about that particular code? It's not possible. It's not a, we have a way to keep the code in the remote places. Okay, I'm going to be giving 4 developers or 2 developers. I'm going to be taking 2 or 3 developers. They're going to be using their laptops. Okay, this is the laptop 1, laptop 2, laptop 3. If they're going to be keeping their work in their laptops, how we can share with others? Everyone should know about the code. So all these 3 guys, they're going to be keeping their code in a central place. Okay, some common point. They're going to be keeping a common point, and they're going to be sending their code to this particular place. Okay, all the developers, they're going to be sending their code to this particular place. This is a central point where they're going to be keeping their code. This central point we are going to be calling as source code management. Okay, this one, source code management. To manage this particular code, we require some tool as well. Okay, source code in the sense, what is the code they are going to be writing by developers? That is nothing but source code. That particular code we are going to be managing through central repository. For this, we require some tool. Okay, to manage this particular code, we require some tool. Here we can go and use some tool under the code. Okay, here we are going to be managing the code. Is this clear? Instead of keeping their code within their laptops, they are going to be keeping a code in a common point. That is nothing but source code management. There they are going to be managing the code. We can see later about that, how they are going to be managing. Okay, here we require a tool, how we can manage the code. Okay, clear about this? This is the first phase. Is this clear, guys? Any questions?
It's good.
I need responses from everyone.
So
You guys
this
are
is
not
this is like a cloud repository, or this is like any NAS storage and all. So
cloud repository, and you're asking something else.
no, I'm saying that is a centralized repository, means like the NAS storage or any cloud storage.
It's a storage in the sense we are going to be using some repository tools. Okay, like in this particular code, we can use some GitHub, or else we can use GitLab, or else we can use code commit. In this is belongs to AWS environment. Okay, in Azure also we have some Azure repos are there. Like we have different places are there, like Bitbucket, SVN. Like we have different tools are there. Here I have shown my GitHub also yesterday. I'm just showing again. github.com/naresh240. This is my repository. Okay, you can see this is my repository, and here we are going to be creating different repositories, and we are going to be keeping the code here. Here, if you want to see my Spring Boot application, if I'm going to be keeping my code in this particular place, anyone can see this particular code. Even here we can restrict the people who can access our applications. Okay, later I will show you how to access that particular application, also how to restrict the people also. Okay,
And the Git and Hub will take care for all the data, right?
come again. All the data in the sense,
On this which we have store on the GitHub.
it's about the code. I'm saying data in the sense is a data is a different, code is a different. Okay, here I would like to give more information about the data and code. Data means some information. It might be anything. Okay, like today I have some application, some Flipkart application is there. This Flipkart application, I would like to find out, need to save data who are logging to this particular application, who are logging to this Flipkart application. This is the data. Okay, it's about the information who are logging to our application, and it's a code in the sense developers write the code. It's a development code. It's
Okay.
about the language. Okay, it means it's a language. It might be Java, it might be Node.js, it might be Python, it might be Golang. Like we have different languages are there. There they are going to be writing the code. Data is different, code is different. Clear now?
Yeah.
This is the place where we are going to be storing the code itself. We have different data sets are there. We have different things are there. In this particular place, we are going to be storing the code itself. That's why I'm saying this. What is the code is going to be writing by developers? That particular code we are going to be keeping somewhere in remote places. Okay, that is the central places we have. In the central places, we are going to be storing the information. Clear now? Any questions, guys?
Yes. So that DevOps guy task will be defined only based on that codes.
DevOps guys, come again.
DevOps guys task will be defined only based on that codes.
It's not about the define the based on the code. It's a based on their roles and
I mean,
responsibilities.
No. I mean to say that, like, let's say for example that I'm the DevOps guy and I have to be asked some perform some task actually. So whenever that I have been asked to perform some so and so task, that like that am I always dependent on that code?
Yes, you have to take this particular code and you need to be deploy the application.
Okay.
Yeah, here developers are going to be keeping their code under this particular place. From here onwards, DevOps guys came into picture and they're going to be performing their roles. You also can keep some of the files within the same place. Here we can see this is my repository. As a DevOps guy, I have written this particular Docker file. I have kept this particular Docker file within the same repository. It might be other repository also. It's not required to keep same place. We can keep another place also. Here we need to understand how we are going to be keeping these particular files also.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the one thing. Here where they are going to be keeping their code. And we can see about the deployment, right? Here, this is the deployment. Directly we can deploy the applications with this particular code. In older days, they are going to be deploying their code directly. Nowadays, we are not going to be deploying like this. On top of this particular code, if I'm going to be giving this particular code, as we discussed, in this place we have discussed, right? We have some development team and deployment team is also there. Now DevOps guy is going to be working like as a deployment team. Okay, I don't want to give my code to this particular team. Two teams. Okay, it's not a single team. We have two teams. One is a development and second one is a deployment. These guys knows about the code. Okay, these guys knows about code. But deployment team knows about the code. These guys knows about the code.
No.
But if I'm going to be giving access on the code to this particular team, if I'm going to be giving access to this particular team, what will happen? Intentionally they won't do, but by mistake they made some changes. Like they might keep some comma or dot or something. Even that also is going to be impacting on our application. Am I correct?
True.
You have to follow some syntax. Whenever you're going to be writing any coding, if these guys doesn't know about the coding, they might do some changes while it's not intentionally. Unfortunately, they might do some changes. Because of that reason, I'm not going to be giving my code to deployment team. On top of this particular code, we are going to be creating a single file. We can see on top of this particular file, we are going to be creating a single file. Okay. On top of this, we are going to be creating a single file. This particular file we can share to deployment team. This is nothing but build. Here we are going to be building a package. Package in the sense here we are going to be creating a file. This particular file can't be readable, can't be editable, okay. Here this particular file we can't able to read, we can't able to edit. That type of file we are going to be creating under the build section, okay. We can share this particular file to deployment team, there is no issue. Am I correct?
Yes.
Are you agree, guys?
Yeah.
Instead of
Yes,
giving
sir.
this particular code to
Yes, sir.
deployment team,
Yes.
create a single file on top of this code only. This particular file having all this information about this code, okay. That type of file are going to be creating and we can share to deployment team, then there is no issue. So to build this particular package, we are going to be using some different tools again. There is a build. In this particular build, we are going to be creating a file that is nothing but package. This particular package we can't able to read and we can't able to edit. This one we can call like as artifact also, okay. Here based on the language, this build tool will be vary. If it is a Spring Boot application, we are going to be using Maven or Gradle. If it is a Node.js or Angular or React, anything, we can go and use NPM. If it is a Golang, we are going to be using Go.
Sorry, Naresh, I missed that. What did you say about the Spring Boot?
For Spring Boot, it's a Java application. Spring Boot is nothing but Java itself. Okay, it's a framework. Inside the Java, Spring Boot is one of the framework. We are going to be using a tool called Maven here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maven or Gradle. Developers are going to be writing different types of coding. Based on the coding, we can use any one of this particular tool. Here it's not required to know before going to start, but we can check with developers which particular tool they are going to be using to build the artifact also. Okay, we can communicate with developers and we can get to know how they're going to be building the artifacts, how they're going to be creating this particular packages. There is no issue. Okay.
So who is making the packages file, like the developer or the?
It's based on their roles and responsibilities. Sometimes developers are going to be creating. Some of the companies, DevOps team also going to be involving to build the packages. They just write the Jenkins CI/CD pipelines. It will automatically build the packages.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Do you need to understand the language to build the packages?
No, it's not required to understand about the language, but we need to understand about how we are going to be building the packages itself. What is the command we are going to be using to create the packages?
Okay.
For Python, it's coming under Java. Python file.
Python?
You are saying Maven, we will use Java to create package. For Python file, which tool user for package creating?
For Python, we don't have any package like that. We can use Python itself if you want to run any applications and all.
Okay.
They have their own softwares. We can use different softwares here. Okay, based on the languages, it will be vary. Okay, this is the third phase. Okay, we can see third phase. There is a plan, code, and build. 3 things are completed. Next one is test. Fourth one is test. Here we are going to be using different tools to test the applications. As per DevOps guys, we are not going to be involving testing much. We have different team is also there. It's based on the company, it will vary. Here we are going to be testing the applications. We are going to be testing the code. We have different tools like as a SonarQube, and we have some JUnities there. Okay, like we have different tools are there. This particular Sonar Cube is going to be checking the code quality by using this particular tool. We are going to be checking the code qualities. Like we have different tools are there. We can go and use these particular tools and we can go and check the code quality. Here we are going to be checking the code qualities and all. Okay, and we are going to be sending the notifications to developers if some particular code is having some duplications are there. Okay, here mainly we are going to be checking about the duplications, any vulnerabilities are there. Okay, any issues are there, we are going to be checking under this particular Sonar Cube before going to run the packages, and we are going to be sharing with developers if any issues are there. In this particular application itself, it's going to be giving the solution also, so that they get to know what is the exact issue is happened, how we can resolve that particular issue also. Developers get to know about the information. Okay, here this particular Sonar Cube, we need to integrate with Java. Sorry, we need to integrate with Jenkins. We need to integrate with Jenkins as per it's like as a DevOps activity. We need to integrate Sonar Cube with Jenkins. Manually, we are not going to be done this process. Here we have some testing team is there. That testing team, what are the things they are going to be done manual? We need to integrate those particular tools with our Jenkins, and we can automate that process. Okay, that is also one of the activity which is going to be done by DevOps guys. Okay, here also we can directly communicate with testing team which particular tools they are going to be using, how we can integrate that particular tools with our Jenkins. We have to understand, and we can go and integrate with those tools with our Jenkins. Okay, later we can discuss about clearly on these particular tools and technologies. We have to understand about pages first. Clear, guys?
Yes, Naresh, that's clear.
Next one is a release. Release, deploy, operate, and monitor. Okay, release, deploy, and deploy, operate, and monitor. Okay, here release in the sense, this one we can keep aside. We can discuss about this later. And this deployment. Okay, as per our discussion, we are going to be building the packages here, right? And we can deploy the applications. Am I correct? We are going to be deploying the applications. In between, some testing also there. We can keep some testing as well. Okay, we just keep testing and deployment. All these activities we are going to be done manually. Am I correct? As of now, we are going to be done manual. This process and this process and this process and this. All these we are going to be done manual. Instead of doing manual, we are going to be writing some CI/CD pipeline. Here, we are going to be writing some CI/CD pipeline. This particular pipeline will be done all these activities one by one in a sequence manner. First, it will be done. It will get the code from here. It will build the package. It will test the code, and it will deploy the application also. This particular pipeline is going to be done all the phases. What are the phases you are going to be discussing here? All the pages, it will automatically done whenever you are going to be writing any CI/CD pipeline. Okay, for this we are going to be using different tools. Here there is a release. Release comes under CI/CD. Here we are going to be using different tools like Jenkins, and we have some GitHub Actions, and we can use GitLab pipelines. In AWS we have some code pipeline is there, and Azure we have some Azure DevOps is there, and we have some Bamboo is there. We have some TeamCity is there. Okay, like we have different tools are there. Most of the guys are going to be using Jenkins nowadays. So if you know about the Jenkins, we can easily understand about other things as well. Okay, here what are the manual steps we have? What are the manual pages we have? All the pages we can be automate. We can be done a pipeline. We can create a pipeline and we can be done step-by-step process. Okay. Release is going to be releasing the packages. It's going with CI/CD pipelines, and the deployment is going to be happening everything. For this deployment also, we are going to be using different tools like Tomcat or JBoss, or we can use Docker containers, or else we can use Kubernetes. In AWS, we have some other tools like EB, Elastic Beanstalk, and ECS is there. Like we have different tools are there. We can deploy our applications any one of these environments. Okay, it's based on the architecture. We are going to be deploying the applications. It might be deployment. It might be deploy on application on the Tomcat. Deployment. It might be done on the Docker container. It might be on Kubernetes. It might be on Elastic Beanstalk. It might be on ECS. Like we have different services are there. There we can go and deploy our applications. Okay. Instead of doing manual, we are going to be using CI/CD pipelines to automate this entire process. Okay. It will automatically get the code. It will automatically build the application. It will automatically test the code, and then it will deploy the applications by using the CI/CD. Here we are going to be writing some pipeline. Now you got
After
about
testing, we have to write the CI/CD.
Yeah, after testing, it means it's not required to write that. It is not going to be done the testing also manually. It just write the pipeline. We can get the code. We can build the package. We can test the code also. Everything we can be done with release itself. Okay, is the intermediate point between CI and CD. Okay, integration and deployment. This is the intermediate point. With this, we are going to be automating our entire process. Okay.
What is the full form of CCID?
Continuous integration and continuous deliveries.
And it's a concept, right? It's not a tool or something.
The concept in the sense we are going to be using one tool to understand about the CI/CD.
Okay.
Okay, it's a continuous. What is meant by continuous integration, continuous deployment, and deliveries? We need to understand about this concept, right? These are two things. One is a continuous integration, other one is a continuous delivery. What is meant by continuous integration? What is meant by continuous delivery? Once we have done the practical scenarios, then only we can understand about this process. This is a concept only. About whatever you said, right? It's like as a concept. But if you want to understand about the concept, we have to use a tool. Whenever you are going to be done some practical, then only you can get to know why we are going to be using this CI/CD. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Naresh, it's clear now.
Up to now, we have completed about the deployment. Yesterday we have discussed about SDLC, right? Now we can relate these things. SDLC we can relate with these concepts. Okay. In SDLC, we have a plan, right? We have analysis. We have some design. We have some development. We have some test and integration. And then maintenance. Now you can say that, you can see there's a planning is there in DevOps also, right? Analysis and design comes under plan only. These three comes under, we can call like as a plan inside the DevOps lifecycle. Then development team is going to be writing the code. DevOps guys are not going to be involving in this. We are getting the code here. As a DevOps guys, we are going to be using the code. Okay. Then we are going to be testing and integration. Here we are going to be testing the code. We are going to be building package and we are going to be testing the code. Then we are going to be deploying the applications. This particular part is involving by developer. It's a DevOps guys. Finally, there is a maintenance. Here we have a concept of maintenance. That is nothing but monitor. Okay. We are going to be monitoring our applications. Once deployment is done, we are going to be monitoring the application as well. Okay. Here we are going to be monitoring the applications. If something happens to your applications, we are going to be involving and we are going to be debugging the applications. We are going to be resolving that particular issues. Okay, that is nothing but monitor. It's like as a maintenance we can call. Monitor in the sense we are going to observing our application, whether how it's going to be working, any issues are going to be giving. If it is giving some issues, these guys are going to be involving and issues are going to be resolving by them. Okay, in between we have some operate is there. This operate in the sense this one is going to be using to install the applications and all. It's like as a build is required some Maven, test is required some SonarQube. All these installations are going to be done by using this particular operate. It means here we can see there is a DevOps plus operations. Here there is a admin kind of activities we are going to be involving and we are going to be completing all these activities. Okay, it's about the operate. We are going to be operating all the activities. It's admin kind of activities or installing whatever it is. For this, we can use some other tools like for operate we can use Terraform and we can use Ansible also. Okay, it's a different concept. It's a based on the requirement we can use different tools. It's not mandatory to use these particular tools. We can be done manual also. Here for monitor, okay, these two we can discuss later. Here monitor, we are going to be using some tools like Prometheus or Grafana. What is meant by monitor here? Normally, how we are going to be checking the logs? We can check the logs by using the commands. By using commands. Instead of using the commands, if you have some graphical representation, what we have, it's easy, right? You are going to be seeing some graph. Okay, I'm going to be showing some graph. You can easily understood about the graph also. Grafana. Okay, if I'm going to be showing the Grafana, you can see any one of these particular image. We can see this. Here we can easily observe at what particular point of time my CPU utilization. Axis you can take like as a time. One axis you are going to be saying that some CPU. Okay, some your server CPUs. How much performance you are going to be giving your server? What is the performance of your server? Everything we can check easily, right? At this particular point of time. But if you are going to be using the commands, it's very difficult to find out a specific point of time how we are going to be checking. For that reason, we are going to be using some monitor. For this, we are going to be using these particular tools. Okay, this is the end-to-end procedure. What DevOps guys are going to be done. Okay, is this clear? Even something happened to your applications, we need to send some notifications, right? We need to send some notifications as well. For that, we can use alert manager. If something happened to your applications, we need to get some alerts, some mails. How you are going to be getting? There is a tool called alert manager and some other tools also there. We can use other tools also. In this monitor, we have some other tools like as a LK is there. We have some NagiOS is there. We have some New Relic is there. We have some Datadog is there. Like we have different tools are there. Some companies they are going to be using Grafana, some companies they are going to be using Kibana, some companies they are going to be using New Relic. Everything is that same concept. Okay, we have to understand about the procedure. That's it. Even one tool if you have, that's fine for us. It's not required to understand about. If you know, it's not required to know about all the tools. To attend the interview, to get the job, it's not required to learn each and every tool. Only one tool is fine on each and every concept. Okay, is this clear?
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, my concern is where is the database? If you want to connect, where is database? That
Database
is different.
is not a part of DevOps exactly. We are going to be using for our applications itself. Okay, for Spring Boot application with database, developers are going to be writing their code to connect the databases and to get the information, to save the information under the databases. Essentially, DevOps guys are not going to be working on databases. Sometimes if you want to create the database in AWS, that is RDS. In that case, you need to be get some databases and all.
Okay, so DevOps guys is not responsible for database and the infra which we
No, it's
created
not.
in AWS.
No, we can't say that. It's not responsible about the DevOps guys. It's based on the roles and responsibilities. I'm saying sometimes you need to be create the database also. Like in AWS, we have some RDS, right? There is a concept of RDS, relational database service. If you are admin, you have to create the database. That's why I'm saying that it's one of the responsibility. If you want to create MySQL database, here I want to create MySQL, you have to create the MySQL database. Okay.
Okay.
You need to set up.
And also infra is also part of the DevOps, no?
Yes, infra is also part of the DevOps. That's why I'm saying that admin activities also. Admin guys, they're going to be done infra activities also.
Like the backup and all.
Yes, backup, everything is going to be done by DevOps team itself. It's based on the responsibilities I'm saying. That is the roles and responsibilities.
Okay, understood.
Okay. Even it's not required to work on each and every tool on daily basis. Based on your hiring, okay, on which particular position they're going to be hiring. Some guys they're going to be hiring for Jenkins only. Okay, sometimes they're going to be hiring for only for Kubernetes. Sometimes they're going to be hiring for Kubernetes and Terraform, like that. It's based on job description. We are going to be working on that particular tools. Okay, we are not going to be involving each and every area. Sometimes we are going to be working on a specific area also, specific tool itself. Okay. At this course, we are going to be involving each and every tool, and we are going to be learning each and every tool extensively. Is this clear, guys? This is about the DevOps.
Okay.
Infra, you said, right? Infra belongs to Terraform. Okay. Infra belongs to Terraform. There we are going to be writing some scripts. With that particular scripts, we are going to be automate our infrastructure. We have some AWS services are there. These AWS services, I want to create automatically. I don't want to use manual steps. I don't want to do manual. Okay. For that, we need to create a script. And then run that particular script. Okay. Here we can use Terraform also. We can use Python scripts also. We can use
CloudFormation also.
Yeah, we can use CloudFormation also. Okay. Even you can use shell script also. We can use any one of these tools. Okay, it's based on the requirement itself. Most of the guys they're going to be using Terraform only. So we are going to be learning about the Terraform here. Okay, clear about the Terraform now? And here Ansible, one more concept, Ansible where we are going to be using. As per our discussion, we are going to be installing the Maven. Okay, in this phase, we are going to be installing the tools. Like I want to install build. Here I want to install the Git. This particular place I want to install the Git. This particular place I want to install the Maven. And this particular place I want to install the SonarQube. This place I want to install the Docker or Kubernetes, whatever it is. Okay. Here if you want to install the Docker, these particular softwares, if you want to install, we can go and use Ansible automatically.
So each and every tools we require the dedicated system, or we can install all the tools in the one system?
We are not going to be installing all the tools in a single machine. We are going to be installing in different machines.
Okay, means each tool, each system. Yes.
Yes, mostly it's like that. Sometimes we are going to be keeping one or the two tools in a single place also. Okay, it's based on the convenience.
Okay, so
How they are going
so architecture, it's okay. So architect, it will be DevOps job, no?
Yeah, architect is also as a DevOps job. Only one guy is there in a team. That guy is going to be involving the architect. He's going to be planning each and everything. What we need to be done exactly, how the deployment will be happen, what are the tools
Yes,
we
yes,
can
yes.
use. Each
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything
How
is
many
going to be
tools? Yeah, how
planning.
many tools? How many systems according? Okay,
Yes.
understood. Yeah.
How we can easily, it's a means. So how we can reduce the cost also. How we can easily done the procedure. What is the process we are going to be following? That particular process, how we can easily done. Okay, all these things is going to be handling by that guy.
Okay, Naresh, for the practicing personal use in my personal laptop, so all tools are need to be installed
No, it's
for
not
practice
required to
purpose.
install inside our laptops. I will explain you how to install inside our AWS instances also. Later you can get to know how it's like as I said with you, right? These admin kind of activities also I will let you know. Okay, but not inside our laptops. We can install inside our AWS instances.
Okay, okay.
Okay, yeah. This is about the DevOps lifecycle. Today we have completed about the DevOps roles and responsibilities, and we have completed about the DevOps lifecycle.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. We can deploy this application as a virtual machine also, like hypervisor on, and we can
Yeah,
deploy.
you can deploy it by
Yes.
hypervisor also. There is no issue. If you have that particular software in that particular machine.
Okay, okay, understood.
Just stop recording. If you